Hello, and welcome to today's edition of Calendar and Number Talk. For this, all you're going to need is a pencil and a piece of paper. It doesn't matter what kind of paper it is. It can be computer paper, construction paper, something for you to write on. Today is Monday, but it's not just any Monday. It is Monday, March 30th, 2020. So first, we are going to write today's date on the top of your paper. So get your pencil ready, get your paper ready, and let's see how many ways we can write today's date. Well, I know one way. I can just spell it out. Let's do that first. On your paper, write March 30. Then we're going to write the year. You can put a comma, 2020. Another way we can write today's date is just by writing the numbers. You can write 3 because March is the third month, dash 30, dash 2020. So you have your month, the date, and the year. Now, after you write the date, we're going to start working on being mathematicians. And a mathematician is somebody who studies numbers, a math genius, if you will. Today is the first day of Calendar and Number Talk. So the number we're going to work with today, I want you to write underneath your date in the center of your page. Since it's the first day, let's see what we can do with the number 1. I want you to write the number 1 and circle it. So we know what we're working with. Well, I know the number 1 pretty well. And I know that if I make a 10 frame, which you should draw right now, make a 10 frame and show me how you represent the number 1. I have 10 spaces. Do I need to fill all 10? No, of course not, because today's number is 1. So I'm going to put 1 dot in my 10 frame. That is one way that I can show the number 1. Another way that I know how to show the number 1 is to write it. Well, sometimes spelling can be pretty difficult. So here's a strategy you can use if you don't know how to spell the number 1 or any word for that matter. So if I sound out 1, well, let's write that down and see what it looks like. Well, I sounded it out, but that does not look like how I should spell the number 1. But it does look familiar to something else I know. W-O-N. Now, I've won a lot of things, a lot of trophies, and that does not look like how I spell the number 1. So I'm going to cross out my options. And I realized in my second option, I saw O-N. And that reminded me. O-N-E. Now, does that look like how you spell the number 1? Absolutely it does. If you didn't know how to spell this number already, then use this strategy, sound it out. If it looks bad, get rid of it and try again. So I have my 10 frame, I have the number 1, I have the word 1. Another way I can show 1 is by using a 10 and 1s chart. On your paper, I want you to draw a 10 and 1s chart. Looks like this. 2 boxes. Over this box, I'm going to put the word "ten." In this box, I'm going to put 1. Now, if I only have the number 1, am I going to have any 10s? Are there any groups of 10 with just 1? No, of course not. So I can put a big ol' 0 here. Now 1. How many 1s do I have? 1. That's exactly right. So under 1, I can just put the number 1. So far, I've shown 4 ways to represent the number 1. Now let's see what else we can do. I can also show the number 1 in tallies. Well, what do tallies look like? They look like the number 1. So if I'm going to put a tally, I just do 1 tally. That's it. Now I am going to see how many ways I can add to make 1. Now, think about it for a second. What problem can I write that is going to equal 1? Well, I know that 0 plus 1 equals, you got it, 1. What's another way that I can write this problem that's the same but different? On your paper, see if you can write a way that is the same but different. I know. All I have to do is flip it around. Instead of 0 plus 1 equals 1, I can write 1 plus 0 equals 1. Yay! Genius babies. Now, here comes the part that I like to call get crazy. So, in the get crazy section, I'm going to draw a line on my paper, and you should too. And this is where we're going to get crazy. We're going to see how many problems we can come up with that equal 1. Now, I already know 0 plus 1. Well, we haven't talked about subtraction problems yet. What if I have 2 circles and I take away 1? How many do I have left? That is our magic number, 1. 2 take away 1 equals 1. That's another subtraction problem I could write in my Get Crazy section. Well, I know if I have 5 circles, how many do I have to take away to equal 1? Draw 5 circles on your page. Cross out however many you think to have 1 just left. One, 2, 3, 4. I crossed out 4 circles and look, I have 1 left. That's crazy. Another problem that equals 1. 5 take away 4 equals 1. Well, if I know that, then I must know that 10 take away 9 equals what? Now it's your turn. On your paper, I want you to see how many more problems you can come up with that equal 1. When you're done, take a picture and save it to turn it into me so I can see how much of a mathematician you are becoming. Now, get to work. You've got this, mathematician.